Hey guys, and welcome back to Plant Based Homestead Prepper. If this is your first time here, at Plant Based Homestead Prepper, we make prepping fun. We're going to teach you the basics of prepping. We're going to teach you some basic homestead skills, and we're going to take you to our journey of moving from the city life to a more rural area and having a homestead of our own in a more rural area. So, if this is your first time, my name is Roderick Chappelle. I am your host of this network. We didn't call this channel a channel anymore. This is a network. This is network programming, and we want to thank you for being here. So, if this is your first time, consider subscribing. We also promote, we are a channel that promotes other channels and other networks. So, without further ado, let's cue an intro, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Christina. You are watching Plant Based Homestead Prepper. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
All right, folks, I need you to do what Christina said, which is what? Subscribe. Oh, man, I messed up my timing. And why do I have these little city vibrations on? Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Bing. We like to have a lot of fun here. In this video, I want to talk to you guys real briefly about why do you seem to know more than your neighbor? Why do you see? Why do you seem? I'm sorry. Why do you seem to know more than your neighbor? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on this feed right now, or if you're watching the replay, congratulations, because that means that you're in the top, I would say 1% of the world, because most people in the world are just going through life, not thinking, not worrying about anything, and they're just like, okay, I'm just trying to make it from paycheck to paycheck, and we're just trying to eat today. You, on the other hand, you are at least seeking out information that is going to help you save your family for whatever may be pending, whether it be EMP, civil unrest, or whatever. It doesn't even matter, okay? So why do you seem to know more than your neighbor? And I've gotten to the point now, I don't even really talk to people I know about the prepper lifestyle, because people normally look at you crazy. Now I'll mention certain things, and I'm big about talking about the food shortage a lot. And I'll just throw certain things out there and just see what people say. And if they bite, then we have a conversation. If they don't, then I know they're oblivious. Or a lot of people just walk around and they have their head stuck in the sand, which is fine. It's all good. Excuse me. So the reason why you seem to know more than your neighbor, because you're always seeking information. All right, you're always seeking information. You're looking. You hear something on the news and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound quite right. Let me go and research this a little more. Okay. You hear things on the radio. You hear things on social media. You're like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem quite right. Let me research this. So congratulations, because you're one of those folks that's you're gonna look for the truth. You are a truth seeker. That's another reason why you seem to know more than your neighbor. One, you're searching for the truth. You're seeking. And there's a book that I quote often, and it says something to the effect of, seeking ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. Something along those lines. I'm not really sure. And I like to refer to it. I don't really like to quote it too much, because some folks just they get a little antsy and a little touchy about when you quote that novel, that book of stories. Some people they get a little upset on both sides, when you start quoting that thing. But I believe that part right there where it says, you start seeking, you'll find. You start knocking, the door be open. I mean, how many times have you gone to one of your friends' houses, you knocked on the door and they didn't open the door? I mean, it's kind of rude to leave your friend outside, especially when it's cold or when it's really, really hot. You go to a friend's house and You hear somebody knocking. Most of the time you go check on them, check the door, and be like, "Oh, okay, hey, Roger, come on in. How you doing? You want some iced tea?" And if I'm fast, I'll be like, "No, you got some water?" And then I'll be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna take your water because I only drink certain water during fast." Anyway, I digress. So you are a truth seeker. You are looking for the truth. You know, it's kind of like in the Matrix. You take this pill, you take that pill. Which one you want? And fortunately and unfortunately for some of us, we've taken that pill that that starts leading down this rabbit hole that's non-stop. It just the longer I live this life of prepperism, plant-based-ism, of not listening to a bunch of foolishness-ism, the longer I lead that life, the more things I'm awakened to, and I'm like, oh my God, how many times have we been bamboozled? How many times have we been hoodwinked? How many times have we been tricked to believe one thing that was a total lie, that was total false? And we will, some people will fight you tooth and nail. And by the way, if you're just joining us, I need you to hit that like button for me. Some people will fight you tooth and nail on things that they don't even know are facts. And that's in every subject. People will fight. I'm going here and give my own self a like. There we go. People will fight you tooth and nail and not even know what they're talking about. So now I just choose not to. I'm a non-combatant anymore. I'm just like, okay, I don't want to fight with you. You have your beliefs, I have my facts. Okay, we're good. Thank you so very much. And I usually leave it at that, because I don't, I learned this in network marketing. I do a lot of referring to network marketing because I spent a large portion of my adult life in network marketing, and I learned this in network marketing. I don't know what the stat is, but when I give you the quote, it's gonna make sense to you. This gentleman was speaking on stage one time, and he was like, your neighbors and your friends and your family, they're all ignorant. And I'm like, okay, where you going with this? And he's like, 10% of the world's population reserve the right to remain ignorant. And I was like, okay. Oh, yes, you have your beliefs, I have my facts. You know what? Use it, knife collector. Use it. You have your beliefs, I have my facts. Because see, it's something when you've proven something, where is this sheet of paper really white? Why is this sheet of paper white? Because somebody a long time ago said that was the color white. Why is this package yellow? Because somebody a long time ago said that was the color yellow. All right. Now, we could go back, I don't know how many, and I'm just throwing this up as an example. We can go back several years, and this might have been referred to as blue. And this could have been referred to as off-white, or let's say polka dot, which that wouldn't really make any sense, because I think polka dot would be universal. Let's say it was purple. All right. So we know it now to be a fact that this is white. This is the color white, according to our knowledge. All right. And according to eye color, there's a difference between this yellow and this yellow. But how do we know? And I'm being facetious right now. How do we know that this is even the color yellow? I don't even know why I got on that tangent. Because right now, that is a fact. That's no longer a belief. It could be a belief depending on if we can go back in time. And if we ask somebody who lived many, many ages ago what that color was, if they said yellow, then we know we're right. But that's not possible right now. Who knows what's going to be possible? All things are possible to he who believes. There's another one from that book. But anyway, I'm being silly right now. Why do you know more than your neighbor? You know more than your neighbor because you're always seeking the truth. You know more than your neighbor because you listen and you pay attention. You know more than your neighbor because you are looking to take care of your family if or when something happens. The sad thing about your neighbor is if something happens, the first door they're going to come knock on after they swallow their pride, because trust me, there's going to be a lot of pride swallowing. And especially if you've already talked to your neighbors about getting prepared. And, you know, being prepared and being a prepper has such a taboo connotation with it now. Because if you go back, and you don't have to go back that far. I remember my grandparents and my grandparents' brothers and sisters and siblings and in-laws, they were all preppers. We just didn't know that. That wasn't the term then. The word prepper just got popular like what in the last 15, 20 years. But when I grew up with my older people, my grandparents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, and you know all my grand aunts and uncles who raised me. They always had food. Always had food. Always had food. Now, they didn't always store water, because back in the day, you know, we drank out the water hose. We didn't have to worry about contamination in the water system. And water was, I remember water being good back then. I remember playing football. I can't imagine what these kids do now, because I remember playing football and being on a hot Texas football field, and they would run a water hose to this huge, it was like a human trough. That really wasn't, I mean, that's really what it was. It was so you can water a bunch of people at the same time. But it was this huge thing. It was made out of metal, and you hook the water hose to it, and the water would run through it, and it would just kind of sprinkle up, but it had a whole bunch of pressure to it. And looking back at that now, I don't know. I guess they're giving these kids bottled water now. I have no idea. Water tasted so good. Thank you for saying that, Tara. Water tasted so delicious. That's the word I would describe water. When I was growing up, out of the water hose, we didn't want to go inside, because one thing, in all of our houses, if you came inside, you had to stay inside. And when I was growing up, you didn't want to be inside the house. You didn't want to be inside the house watching General Hospital and The Young and the Rest. I hated rainy days. When it was a rainy day, I was bummed out. For one, the lady who raised me, she like, sit down and shut up and be quiet and let God do his work. And that's the way I was raised. I was raised during storms. You sat down and you shut up and you let God do his work. Now, we know that, you know, storms come. Some people have different ideas on how storms are formed. But we know now that, you know, storms happen. All right. Kind of hit it at GSM without actually talking about it, and no one cared. That's true. But then most of the people here are the type that live in the moment, drinking casinos. Okay. That's, you know what, you can hint all you want, Knife Collector, but unless you have somebody, and I hate to keep quoting this book, but that book always also says, he that had an ear, let him hear. And I also heard a quote says that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I mean, all those old sayings ring true, because, and I hope I'm so wrong, and I hope that I am wasting so much time, energy, and money on preps and getting prepared, and we're nowhere close to being prepared. We're better than most, but God forbid. Oh, I hope I'm so wrong about all of this, because it's I think often of like worst case scenario, and I'm like, what is the worst thing that can happen in my life right now? The worst thing that can happen. Matter of fact, let's pay some tribute to some other channels, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you what the worst case that I think can happen.
Welcome to Plant Based Homestead Prepper. I am Grimm from Grimm Survival, where we talk about SHTF scenarios, food shortages, things I see while driving this thing, and solar minimums, among many other things. But back to your regular scheduled program. Cue the...
All right, thank you, Grimm. You guys got time for one more? Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
Hi, I'm Christina, and you are watching Plant Based Homestead Prepper. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
And also hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. I need you guys to hit the like buttons. I'm not live right now, so I don't know what you guys are over there doing. I don't even know how many people are on here. When I'm doing this stuff from my phone, I really can't see anything, which is probably the best. And I really don't pay attention to a lot, except for the comments when you guys come in and make comments, or when I'm coming in and I just want to say thank you for your visit, which reminds me of a quote in a movie called Kingdom of Heaven. If you guys haven't seen that movie, you gotta watch that movie. That movie is absolutely amazing. It has Orlando Bloom in it. Who's the dude that
Welcome to Plant Based Homestead Prepper.
what's the guy name that plays in those Taken movies? Oh gosh, he has a weird name. What is his name? He plays in all the Taken movies. Come on, y'all, help me out. What is his name? Anyway, it is a really, really good movie, especially if you like medieval type movies, which I love. So, you know, it's all good. I'm trying to pull up my channel. I cannot get my channel. I'm so sorry. And I know it keeps playing in the background. So I was going to tell you guys what I felt my worst case scenario was with people or with something happening. Oh gosh, I keep thinking about this and thinking about it. Right now, where we live, the worst case the worst thing that can happen would be something happen and I am not able to get myself and Jennifer home right now. That's like the worst case scenario. No matter what. Good morning, JK. No matter where, and of course we have preps in the vehicles, and you know, we have EDCs that we carry every day, which unfortunately for me, I left most of my EDCs. Normally I carry a multi-tool, I carry a razor knife, which is like a little flick blade, which is what I opened those seeds with a while ago. I carry my wallet, carry emergency cash, but I left my multi-tool and I left my flashlight today for some reason. I don't know. I left them sitting right on the bed. I was getting dressed, talking to Jennifer and everything, and I left them right there, which is very uncommon. Because once you get into a habit of doing things, you know, you're in a habit. Worst case scenario for me right now would be civil unrest, we can't get home. Or a civil unrest and I get home and Jennifer's not there. Absolutely would kill me. But we have decided. That's why you have to think now on what could happen and what are you going to do if it happens. Not wait until something happens, because if you wait till something happens to start planning, it's already too late. So Jennifer and I both know that something happens, we need to get home as fast as possible. We get home, we go through, and I got action plan A, action plan B, action plan C, depending on what it is. We go through the motion, and we both know that we should be able to get home no matter where we are. Even if Jennifer's way out where she works, she should be able to get home within 4 days with the preps that she have in her car, with the cash that she has on her, with the skills that she has. After 4 days, you have to start thinking the worst has happened. Okay? And sometimes the worst is not death. Sometimes the worst is they're not coming back for a while. Okay? Sometimes the worst is, oh my God, they just not here right now. All right? But you have to preserve the life. And I know this is going to sound callous. I know this is going to sound, callous is probably the best word. Okay? You have to have contingency plans. Period. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if it's myself or her. And I would much prefer her being at home and me not being there than the other way around. One thing you need to add is a tool to turn various types of outdoor water faucet. I agree. Today there are different styles and don't use the handle like we used to. Yes, I have one of those tools. I don't even know if it has a special name. Also, another tool. This is something that our municipal water system went to, They went to this special key where you have to unlock the water. You mentioned water, maybe think about it. You have to unlock this water censored key thing. I have one of those too. And also a gas shut off tool is good to have in your preps too. But we got this little key, and it looks like a huge. Y'all remember what the old style skeleton keys look like? It looks like a huge skeleton key, except it has a curve at the end. You stick it off in the water meter, and you turn it, and then you can actually lift the door for the water meter. They did that. I know why, so they could censor your, well, not censor, but they can look at your water usage without having to come out and actually check it. So that's why they did it in our city. But who knows what that who knows what else that little doohickey does? I don't know. Do you guys know? But that's a great point, knife collector. Awesome point. Another thing that is good to carry with you guys in your vehicle. I should do another video about this. Things you should carry in your vehicle. You know what? I think we'll do that. I think we will shut this one down because this was a video about why you seem to know more than your neighbors. So we've covered that topic. We're gonna shut down for a few minutes, and then we're gonna come back in. I told you guys I'm doing a 7 video blitz today. 7. We're gonna do 7. This is number 3. This is number 3 so far, and we're gonna do 7 today to get a blitz going. All right. So I'll see you guys in a few, and if you have not done so, please sir, please ma'am, subscribe to the channel. We want to thank you for doing such, and make sure that you have hit the, before you leave, make sure you hit the like button, and we'll be right back after these messages. No messages in the video.